Hello and welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Today is a hot day, it's really hot outside, and when it's hot, all I want to do is be in and around water. And because of that, I thought I am going to make a video about flow, how to flow, what is a flow. And the best way I could explain it to you is to kind of draw down a river. So there is the top part of the river and the bottom part of the river, and then there is its flow. I'm gonna make it so. If we are in a river, it naturally goes in one way. At the bottom, the flow itself might be a bit bigger, lazier. At the top, it might be swirly, and in the middle, it might be quite fast, the way the river flows. And we can learn a lot just by being in water, experiencing how the river moves, how a lake moves, how sea or ocean moves, the waves, and we would learn so much about flow in life. We could also look at nature and see how animals and species generally integrate into this flow of life, and how we as a species might not fit in, or we try to go against the flow, against the tide, and we try to force, or we don't try to force. It's a really good way to look at it. In my life, flow is an interesting thing because I got to understand it when I had to go in a hospital a good 10 years ago, and flow came from the energy of let go, and then it came flow. So when physically and mentally I couldn't hold on anymore to the thought processes of what's gonna happen with me, what they are going to do with me next, and the constant fear, I had to let go, and from let go, flow came when I kind of switched off the fear and the worry. Basically, my mind was probably so overworked that it just like switched off, and then I learned flow. The other way really is to learn flow is to go into nature and see how the air moves, how the wind moves the leaves, how the water moves. You can learn so much. How, like, just to experience it, what happens when there is a branch in the water and how the water moves around it. In your own life, if you go into the river and you start to swim downstream, it's really easy and the current will just take you. If you try to swim upstream, it's really is a hard work. You can do it, but you have to keep the tempo. In a minute you stop, the flow gonna catch you and it's gonna take you. So we have to kind of recognize this in our own life. If we go against currents or not. What I mean is that sometimes they kind of try to tell you that easy is not a good thing, but easy is a really good thing, and some things come much easier. I give you an example. I used to do, well, I used to work in a salon doing like holistic things, head massages, crystal therapies, and so on and so on, and then I had to kind of put it in a back burner for a minute, and I started to do something else. I didn't even think that something gonna come out of this. I don't really wanna name it because I don't wanna give it I don't wanna advertise it or anything, but it's really started to pick up, and I really would like to see when these 2 or even 3 things gonna join, because my thing is at the moment, if my life is in the river, that would be that new thing I started to do, not expecting a thing and still kind of starting to work out almost on its own. Then it would be holistic. because with holistic I tried really hard. For me it is really important, so I did like workshops, online workshops, tutorials, blah blah blah, all sorts of stuff. And then I just recognized that at the moment that nothing is happening. It went into into this stale water. It's just standing there. It's okay. I leave it there. I wanna see where will it go from there. So I have that thing I don't wanna talk about. I have holistic. I used to have travel, which is still very interesting for me because travel opens up the mind. It's part of my flow to kind of know other cultures and learn about other cultures and people and to experience generally, because I do love this earth. And then there is a very important part of me is the arts. So my river has all these little rivers or streams which kind of makes the river go big. So this is how they all join together. And I would like to see now, I'm interested to see how this is all gonna intertwine and how it's all gonna work out. Life on its own, it's a flow, so we don't really have to push and force anything. It doesn't mean that you have to be lazy, you have to have dedication, but sometimes we have to learn when to stand back and just listen, just see, and don't judge, just be. And that's why nature is really good, because I adore nature. When you are in nature, you learn how to just be and observe and see how everything is fits in and how we might disturb this kind of balance or the flow. And you can learn so much from it, seriously. I think that's the best teacher, nature, because you learn about your nature and you learn about nature itself, as a spiritual teacher, let's say, or teacher, just as it is. And what else I wanted to say about flow? Mm. Personal experience. So people used to say to me that, oh Sylvia, you always start so many things and then you never finish them, you just leave them. And I was like, yeah, I really have to try harder. And so I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna work not with 100% but 120%, like really everything. Oh, I'm like so focused on everything. And what happened is not much really. It's not about that. What happened is that I realized that I would only burn myself out, and I did quite a lot already, because naturally I'm not lazy. So that is true, though, that once you start to do something, you should do it with your best abilities. So, don't just do it half-heartedly. You can, but with the flow, it's really nice because nothing set in stone. So there is no failure, and there is no there is a lot of achievement, but there is no failure. So it's really good to kind of look at it in this way, so you can play around with things really with your life. So okay, long story short, basically, the way I look at it is that I'm starting something, I learn from it, I experience something, and even if I drop that particular thing, I have the information, the know-how about it, and then I could implement it into something else. And this is how I flow in my life. And it means that maybe I do many different things, and I need to do many different things because I'm getting bored really easy, working and doing the same thing for, I'm not even saying 1 year, for 10 years. Oh my god, I don't know if I no, I couldn't do it. I just can't do it, seriously. It's so boring for me. Some people love this, but it's not for me. For me, I need to, this is how I feel alive, that I can experience different things, which means that I'm never, what I learn, of course I know that as much as I can, like integrating into my experience, but I'm always learning, which means I'm always finding new challenges, which means that I can never relax in a sense uh, in development, but I can relax in a sense that I know that I'm in my flow. Well, this is how I could explain flow to you from this point of view. So if you want to experience flow, go into the nature and maybe learn how to surf. I would love to learn how to surf, seriously. Or just even to swim in the water, that would be enough. And just to see how the water moves. That's why I actually really love these new cameras now, because you can do the super slow motions. And for me, when I take a picture or a video, I make a video about how the wave moves, and it's like really slow. This is exactly how I experience it. Like for me, it's like really real, like I can see all the details. I love it. So yeah, that would be my video about flow and how to flow. Thank you very much for watching me, and I wish you a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.